Them që kur ka pengesë për një gjë të tillë, imagjino për gjërat e Klodianës që sigurisht kanë të bëjnë me shumë guxim dhe shumë miliona euro. Një rast tjetër është unë ftohem si gazetar politik, ftohem shpesh në këto debatet politike, talk show-t politik. Dhe kjo është dhe një lloj presioni dhe një lloj kërcënimi që të shtyn censure, që të shtyn pastaj tek vetë censura. Më ka ndodhur që politikan të mazhorancës të ma kenë thënë live në studio, kur diskutimi ishte për eksponent të ndryshëm të dyshuar ose të lidhur me atë the underworld, me këtë nën botën e krimit. Po pse s'ja thuaja emrin, pse s'ja thua emrin. Pra politikani që ja kërkon gazetarit që të guxoj, po ja mbajti dhe ta thoj emrin. Dhe unë shpesh e kam gjetur veten në pozitën e të kurrjes. Domethënë, a kam pasur shpesh, nuk e kam pasur guximin për t'i thënë emrat, pavarësisht informacionit, pavarësisht dyshimit. Dua të them që presioni që të çon në autocensurë është i shumë llojshëm. Faleminderit.
Thanks.
Last. The law on access to information in Albania was the first country in the region to have that law in 1999. But to quote Remzi Lani, which is sitting here, we draft laws according to the European standard, but the implementation is Balkan one. Then for the 15 years, this law was not implemented, different reasons. And the truth is that in 2014, we managed to pass in the parliament one of the 5th laws in the planet. And if we consider that we have only 5 continents, it means we have the best in the continent. And really, it's a good law. The problem is, do journalists really use this law? My answer is no. Very, very rarely. Those who use it are mostly NGOs, it's Björn, and journalists working outside traditional media or outside the portals because they have a project and they have the time. The journalists working on daily basis, they even don't know that law and they don't use it. The results are it's a mixed bag. There are institutions in local and central government which reply and provide you with the information that you asked. Sometimes there is this misunderstanding that the law on access to information means that certain people at certain level at the administration, they have to do a research for your PhD. Or they are going to use to confirm your news of the day. So this law is a good law. There are plenty of rooms for better implementation, but it's not really tested by journalists. Second thing, self-censorship. To continue quoting George Orwell, and in his preface on Animals Farm, he said that if liberty means anything at all, it means the right to tell people what they don't want to hear. I do agree with Yonila that we have structural problem, ownership problem. So the problem of Albania is, the challenge is having less, not having more. We have problems of freedom of journalists, freedom of the editors, to take decision based on their professional conscience and not taking in considerations other circumstances. And the problem of self-censorship is related with professionalism. Those who are good journalists, they don't have the problem with self-censorship, or if they like, not to have a problem. And the second is these young reporters, which I see at the end of the this room. They are courageous. They are doing, some of them, very good pieces on investigative journalism. But those young reporters remind me the old line of Goethe said that even other people before Galileo knew that the earth is going around, but they were married and had children.
Okay, thanks. The next question will be directly to Claudiana Lala, connected to that what happened. Do you feel that the state, police, and so on was really doing after that the job? And in general, also to other colleagues, of course, you have today less attacks on journalists than in past in Albania, but is the state doing the jobs, it means after attack happened or a serious threat against journalists, do you have the feeling that you got a good support from the state, or it's just formal, pro forma that the state reacts, but in reality no one is going to prison and so on after cases like that? So maybe from your case you can give the example how you see it.
Përpara se të flas për rastin tim, dua të ndaj këtu me ju një rast një kolegu tjetër, Elvi Fundo. Nuk e di nëse është këtu sot, ai u rra nga disa persona të pa identifikuar, u masakruan në mënyrë shumë barbare, janë publike pamjet filmike të Fundos duke pra akti që u bën ndaj tij. Policia dhe prokuroria hetuan për afro 6 ose 7 muaj në mos gabohem dhe arrestuan një person i cili qëndroi rreth 6 muaj në burg. Dhe më pas ndodhi që ai personi u lirua. U lirua dhe një ditë më troket në derën e punës time dhe më thotë unë jam X person, kam qëndruar në burg si dyshuar dhe i akuzuar më pas për rastin e rrahjes së gazetarit Elvi Fundo. Ka marrë pafajësinë, ka marrë edhe shpërblimin për ditët e burgut, por ajo çfarë dua të trajtoj është fakti që mua më shkatruar jeta. Dhe askush nga mediat nuk e thot që unë jam i pafajshëm, jam këtu me ju dhe dua ta trajtoni. Në fakt unë nuk arrita ta trajtoja rastin e zotrisë, sepse për fat keq ndodhi ajo që ndodhi në shtëpinë e prindërve të mi. Dhe ajo apeli im për policinë dhe prokurorinë nuk mund t'i paragjykoj për sa kohë nuk ka një përfundim, por apeli im për rastin konkret për atë që lidhet me mua dhe familjen time është për faktin që policia duhet ta hetoj mirat e ngjarje, të mos arrestoj personat e gabuar, sepse spari mendoj që duke bërë një hetim të cunguar do më bëj jo vetëm mua, por edhe kolegë të tjerë shënjestër të sulmeve të tilla mbas edhe më të rënda, por ndërkohë mund ta shoh veten papritur përpara një armiku të ri nëse mund ta quaj kështu. Sa i përket qasjes policisë dhe prokurorisë, nuk kam çfarë them, sepse procedurat standarde ligjore në momentet e para janë ndjekur. Më pas është një çështje që më thuhet gjatë gjithë kohës është sekret hetimor. Faleminderit.
Thanks. For Alexander and Lutfi, also connected to the attacks to journalists, how much we have in Albania, do we have solidarity? Solidarity between journalists if journalists have problems. So how you see, Lutfi and you, Alexander, how you see the case of solidarity? Is there solidarity between journalists, or it's a strong influence of owners and media where the people are working, and then there's very often missing the solidarity? How do you see it?
I mean, when Alexander mentioned 6,300 people working in media, I thought that he meant, journalists, readers, viewers, and all in all. But solidarity, it seems like a Greek word because it's missing. the question is that the journalists are not really represented. There is only trade union which is really working and trying to do their best, but their capabilities and possibilities are very limited. And the thing is that there is this big hypocrisy. If we say that most of the journalists don't get paid regularly, don't have a decent working contract, what we see is that they report for the others who are working without contract and without proper papers, and that this is the biggest hypocrisy of our time. The question of solidarity is also tested by the political leaders. We have gifted, talented, strong leaders, which makes fun or joke, or sometimes they go even insult to the reporters, and rarely we see solidarity. There are cases, but rarely. So cases are exceptions. I don't have an answer for the question, follow-up question why, but this is the situation.
Thanks, Roxana.
Në fakt, për shkak se unë e njoh greqishten si gjuhë të fqinjve, nuk më ngjan fare me greqishten fjala solidaritet. Por solidariteti në Shqipëri ka dy pamje. Pamja e parë, nëse guxon dikush të godas, të kërcënoj publikisht, apo qoftë në rrethana të tjera një gazetar, ekziston gjithë solidariteti i mundshëm midis organizatave që ka vendi jonë. Dhe janë të shpeshta rastet që ky solidaritet është manifestuar jo vetëm me manifestime, deklaratash apo reagimesh, por edhe me tubime, dhe mendoj që kjo është një traditë pozitive që duhet ta vlerësojmë për solidaritetin ndaj këtyre natyrave të kërcënimit në realitetin e medias. Por jam plotësisht dakord me kolegun Dervishi për mungesën e solidaritetit substancial, të atij solidariteti që rregullon pozitën e gazetarit në raport me pushtetin e katërt, brenda pushtetit katërt, të ashtu quajtur, dhe në raport me pushtetet e tjera, kryesisht me institucionalizmin e vendit. Ky solidaritet është i munguar. Por kjo ndodh edhe për një arsye për të cilën më jepni mundësi ta shpreh. Fatkeqësisht ka një realitet të parcializuar në përfaqësimet e organizatave të gazetarëve në Shqipëri. Dhe në jo pak raste, edhe kur ka pasur nisma për të krijuar organizata të reja rishtare, ato fatkeqësisht nuk kanë pasur jetë gjatësi. Edhe pse kanë qenë të financuara nga projekte serioze donatorësh, serioz. Solidariteti i brendshëm për të ndryshuar gjendjen dhe statusin social të gazetarëve në Shqipëri, mendoj se është i lidhur dhe me një arsye tjetër. Në Shqipëri nuk flitet dot për autoritet të editorit shqiptar. Dhe ju e dini shumë mirë, nëse kërkon pavarësinë e gazetarit, duhet para së gjithash të ndërtosh dhe se ndërtosh pavarësinë e editorit. Kush i rekruton gazetarët në Shqipëri? Janë të pakta rastet ku rekrutimet e gazetarëve bën nga kryeredaktorët dhe drejtorët e informacionit në strukturat e redaksive të informacionit. Këtë atribut e ka ose administratori i medias në përgjithësi, ose pronari i medias. Ju e dini shumë mirë ç'do të thotë një person ekstra profesional të ketë gjitha atributet e rekrutimeve profesionale. Mendoj që ky solidaritet për ta shembur këtë traditë negativiste në realitetin e medias dëmton para së gjithash profesionalizmin dhe i heq të drejtën për të patur një status të vendimarrjes prej profesionistëve në skenën mediatike të vendit. Faleminderit.
Please, yes, please.
Nuk duhet të bëhem bartës i mungesës së solidaritetit, se duhet të them në diçka në lidhje me atë që tha kolegu Qipa, sapo tha që ka një solidaritet me gazetarët cënuar, unë mendoj që nuk është kështu, dhe nuk duhet bëhem solidar në të pavërtetën. Në fakt, shoqatat e medias, zoti Qipa, dhe duhet ta pranoni këtë, dhe më vjen keq që po e, ose nuk më vjen keq në fakt, dua ta them. Sa herë ka dhunimet gazetarëve dhe problemet gazetarëve dhe kërcënimet gazetarëve, ta pranojmë që shoqatat e medias në Shqipëri reagojnë në logjik.
Sorry, English translation is not working.
Okay. I can go. I can switch to English. It's okay if it doesn't work. Would you like me to? Organizations that are supposed to protect journalists in Albania, in fact, do react according to political lineage or lines. So if there is a journalist that it is perceived as to be of left-leaning or right-leaning, then the right-leaning organizations wouldn't react on the left-leaning journalists and so on. So I do not agree with Mr. Chipa that there is this solidarity. And just like the media, the different media organizations work and report according to political lines, so do the organizations that are supposed to protect the rights of journalists. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. One question for Ilva and for Jonila, the secrecy. How in Albania you have so many newspapers, very often with less than 1,000 copies sold on the market, how it can function? Probably the answer is somebody is giving money for some reason, but what is the reason and why is it? Because it's very specific Albanian, I think, story that you had in one moment, I think, some 20 newspapers on the market and so on. So what is behind that, and who is misusing the media, the print media? So for both, for Ilva and for Jonila, how you see it?
If I had that answer, I don't know what I would do with it. But it's not only the media in print situation. This is the same for TV as well. There are, Lutfi gave the numbers. There is a ridiculous amount of media and TV and broadcasting media for a population of 2,800,000 inhabitants. So, and I really don't have that answer. And indeed, the main question is who finances it? Who pays for this media, for either print or broadcasting or websites as well? Online media now is blooming at the same speed as broadcast or print media, which is actually in decline heavily in Albania. I think we have an answer, which is a simple one, and I don't have facts to support that, but it's other interests. But that doesn't say much. Other interests that pay for it. Keeping a newspaper is expensive. Having a TV that is not profitable, it's even more expensive. So whoever pays, they are not losing any money. That's all I know.
Is it from political or business side? Or some third side?
Both.
Sorry. Vetëm një fjali, nuk besoj që është vetëm politika dhe po unë mendoj që në disa portale këtu në vend po paguan edhe krimi organizuar. Dhe këtë e them me përgjegjësi për sa kohën prej shumë kohësh mbuloj çështjet e kronikës së zezë dhe shikoj se si kryesisht në portale caktuara ka disa lajme që nëse mund ta themi kështu zbardhin figurën e kriminalëve të rregjur në Shqipëri ose sulmojnë bandat rivale dhe në fakt për fat keq janë të shumta. Faleminderit.
So the newspaper where I used to work until 1997, Kohajon, had in that time 60,000 copies, 1997. And you are right, today they are at least not more than 10,000, all the newspapers together. And I just have to repeat another time what I thought, that I think that media owners through all these newspapers and magazines, or it's not so important how many copy they sell, but I think they use the newspapers to promote always their business interests, to cut down the rivals that they have due to their business and political agenda. And I wanted to add something, if you can give me 1 minute. I wanted to bring in the attention of the people here in the room, of our colleagues here coming from abroad, related to solidarity and censorship. We don't have to forget that these things, when we speak about Albania, I personally think, based even in my research, that there are some of the legacies that we have from the communist past. We did have censorship in the past. We never had a free independent media, so it was really, it was and it is still difficult to understand, to work in a free independent media without this kind of self-censorship. And the second one, we mostly are a society that we are in solidarity with the victims always. It never depends what they have done, but the victim, always like that. And during the communism, it was very difficult to have solidarity with your friends, with your colleagues in the newspaper, or in any area, or in any field where you work, because you always had to risk yourself to be put in jail or to have other problems in your life. And I am very sure that these legacies are still very strong today, as we never talked about the past, and as we never changed the elites, and as we never had a public discussion about our communist past. And so in the media is not different. The media is a part of our society, and is a part of the problems that we have in our democracy, which are very much connected with our communist past. Thank you.
Thanks. One question, short answer for everyone. Do you think that self-regulation can work in Albania?
Short answer is no, long answer is no. But since we are here, Oliver, I just wanted to kindly remind even the participants who are for the very first time in the city that it's not polite in Tirana to ask a lady how old she is, but also to ask the publisher about the circulation of the newspaper.
Self-regulation.
Më falni, e konsideroj të nevojshme të jap një përgjigje, jo replik, për atë çka me të drejtë kolegu Lela konstaton. Në qëndrimet e organizatave, para gjykimet për majtas apo djathtas, mendoj që krijon një privim të antarësisë së përgjithshme që përfaqësojnë ato. Individët që e drejtojnë apo mund të kenë qasje ndaj kaheve në politikë, sepse natyrisht jemi qytetarë të vendit. Por mendoj që në qëndrimet e organizatës për reagimet ose mos reagimet nuk ka qëndrime subjektiviste. Mendoj në asnjë rast, dhe besoj këto janë të afishuara në mediat dhe në faqen zyrtare të organizatës që drejtoj. Por ajo që duhet të them dhe që në Shqipëri është e domosdoshme, për shkak të inkandeshencës që aktorët mediatik dëshmojnë në marrëdhënien me skenën politike të vendit, është shumë e rëndësishme vlera e maturitetit, qoftë për reagim dhe qoftë për solidaritetin në kuptimin e rasteve që kanë qasje me politikën. Unioni përpiqet që në këtë pikpamje mos ketë afinicione as me palët dhe aq më tepër me protagonistët politik bërës.
Any comment about self-regulation, hope, or was this short and long answer what you think also that there's no chance to have self-regulation in Albania in this moment? So, self-regulation. Any question more from here? Because I didn't have a feeling there was any question. No. So at the end, one point is still very important is the role of the public broadcast, the public radio and television. Because we have in many countries the big problem how you see, I will ask also Lutfi, who is connected in some form to the public radio television, but everyone, how you see the role of the public broadcaster for the future, because you have a strong private market of media. Do the people believe still to that what is broadcast in the public radio and television, and how strong is the influence of the politics on the public TV, radio and television today?
So the most difficult question for me. The challenge of public television is to become public, to serve the public. Till the day that we see critical reports, investigative reports in the public television, that will be the day that it's a big change. I'm optimistic for the case of the Albania, because for the very first time in the history of the Albanian public television, broadcasted some investigative pieces, and I see the author here. So it's not a production of the TV. Mr. Artan Rama, if I'm not wrong, is in the room, and he produced some very good investigative pieces on the environment issues in Albania. There were pressure from various, not from the politicians, but even worse, from the various interest groups, and those pieces were broadcasted. The challenge of the challenge of the public broadcast in Albania, it's the legacy. During the last 10 years, all private operators were running, were progressing, and the case of public television was backsliding. And also the challenge, I mean, for the future, it's critical to have a healthy, independent public television, because that will serve as a very good factor in this chaotic market and very aggressive market.
Thanks. Somebody else, some comment about public radio and television, or you are happy with?
Now, maybe to add something, Lutfi is right, of course, but for me personally, Lutfi, the moment when I think that, hey, we have a public broadcaster, public television will be where we have in the news something critical about the government. Yeah, so something like that. And I don't know when it's going to happen.
Are you quoting me or just? There are critical, even as we speak, but the challenge is to turn the remote control to the public television. So it's a slowly process, and the challenge is human resources, the challenge is servant mentality, but it's happening. It's happening.
It was a comment, it was not for you. You are not the director of the public broadcaster, but I thought public television who criticized the government is not only this government now, but the governments, so in general. So this is what was missing in all these 28 years, and I hope maybe we can see it in the future.
Oliver, because it's getting very interesting. What I consider progress is the public television was in a period who criticized the opposition for things that were going worse in the country. That is not happening anymore. But also this kind of balanced approach and professionalism. But I do agree fully with you that it's a huge challenge to have a quality, independent and critical journalism in the public television. It is happening, but I won't bet with anyone if it will succeed or not.
I will just add, it's not, again, only an Albanian problem. We have in most countries in Europe, also in West Europe, big problems with the public broadcaster and the strong influence of politics. So it's not just, I would say, a thing in Albania. I think we should stop here. I would like to thank for sitting here, for taking the time to the colleagues on this side and to the colleagues on that side. It means to everyone who came today to this event, especially to international guests. We are now continuing with a ceremony of awards, so I will call two persons. It's Ms. Barbara Fabro and Ramzi Lani just to come here in the front. But before we will continue with this award, and I would like to thank you for being here. I will add, if there are some problems, please use the chance. You have SEEMO, you have the International or European Federation of Journalists. Inform us about the cases. We have to continue also with 2 or 3 information before this award, but please, Barbara Ramsey, the thing is that tomorrow we have to be at 9:15 in time here. We are continuing in the morning. The second very important detail is that those internationals who have right for refunding of travel costs, you can do it tonight from 9:30 to 11 and tomorrow morning from 9:30 to 2 p.m. So please use the chance to get your money, because if you will not take the money, you will not get the money. So you should do it here in Tirana. Don't forget to take your money for travel costs. And the last thing what is also very important, after this presentation of the award, we will have also a dinner, a reception, lot of food, drinks, and things like that. And it will be on a special place here in the hotel, but I will tell you at the end, so that you are staying here for the award ceremony, not to leave this room before we finish. I will ask the technician to close the video beamer, the screen, please. We have to switch it. Totally, nothing to see. So please that. And then slowly I will give now the role of the chairperson. Please, if you can just switch it off, it's still on before Barbara starts. Barbara cannot, yes, and a microphone. We need the microphone. We need the microphone for Barbara. So if you, and for Ramsey, for both. Yes, 2 microphones. Thank you. And still waiting for switching it. Yes, please. So we have to wait till there's nothing on the screen. So Barbara has still to wait 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds. Slowly, yes, slowly you can start. And then we will continue with the ceremony. So yes, please, Barbara, you can start.
Is it working? Yes. Okay. In the meantime, yes, I just wanted to say that I'm representing the Central European Initiative Executive Secretariat, which is based in Trieste, Italy, which together with SEEMO is promoting this award. This is an award which has been presented since 2008 and is meant mainly to promote investigative journalism, quality reporting, and also to promote the young generation of investigative journalists. This year, as usual, we got a very positive response to our call, not only in terms of quantity. We got many applications from various countries from the CI region, but also for the quality. The international jury met in Trieste last June, and now, before announcing the winners of our award, I would like to call the members of the jury who are here today. We already have Remsilani, he coordinating the jury meeting, and then I would like to invite Marina Constantinoiu to come here, Milorad Ivanovic, Francesco Martino. I know you are busy, but maybe you can move a little bit. Here. And Alina Radu, I think she's also here. Yes, Alina. As you know, our award comprises 2 categories, the professional journalist and the young professional journalist. So now I have the pleasure to call here the winners of the first category, Stefan Dojcinovic and Dragana Peko from Serbia.
Yeah. Okay. I am sure you want to know why. The jury decided, without many hesitations actually, that Stefan and Dragana deserve this award for their contribution to investigative journalism in Serbia and for the impact of their courageous story in the society in a challenging environment as Serbia is today. You can say a few words.
Okay. Thank you for this award. We appreciate it very much. Last years in Serbia were very challenging for being an investigative reporter. I don't know how much this is known outside of the Serbia, but there's really strong pressure on media in the last couple of years, and it's kind of increasing. So we have new ways of how the government is trying to basically pressure every independent media. But of course, I also need to remember that now even inside of European Union is becoming worse and worse for journalists. We have a couple of tragic events. Some of our colleagues were killed. We have one colleague who was working in OSRP network with us, who was killed in Slovakia. We have a case of Malta investigative journalist killed, and later one really strange case of Bulgarian colleague that got killed. So I think the world is going in really pretty much a bad direction, and it's becoming much tougher place for reporters to work. But I think that we, of course, should kind of just keep fighting. Thanks.
And now for the category Young Professional Journalist, I call Nino Bilajak from Bosnia and Herzegovina.
The jury decided to give this award to Nino for his courageous reporting and also for innovative ways of telling complex stories in a challenging environment also. Congratulations.
Stefan told everything. I would like to thank to SEEMO organization. It's an honor and pleasure to be here in this ceremony as a winner of this award. And the most important thing is that we won't stop here, and this is the only one step in our investigative journalism. Thank you.
And in addition to the awards, the jury also decided to assign a special mention to the Hungarian journalist Ákos Keller-Alant. So I call him here on the stage. Congratulations, congratulations. This is due especially for the many important and groundbreaking stories on the transformation of the media system in Hungary and on complicated corruption cases he made with his work.
Well, thank you very much, and this is an honor to be here, and this is a very good place to raise awareness, because in Hungary the free press is under pressure. Independent outlets are being shut down, and it's really hard to work as an independent journalist now. And it's very important to emphasize that now we can see the effect to the society that which lacks the free media. And Hungary is a very bad case, and it should raise awareness to everywhere else to help and protect the free media everywhere. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, and now we are continuing with two not so nice cases. One is a special mention we have this year. It was mentioned the case of the Slovak journalist Jan Kuciak, who was killed this year. It's a very sad story, and there will be a special mention, and we decided to have a special mention this year to that case because it shows how dangerous it is to be also today inside European Union still good journalists, investigate journalists. And the second special mention is for a journalist. She couldn't come today for security reasons because she was attacked also this year in Montenegro, Olivera Lakic, but her colleague Milka Tadic will come and receive the diploma in the name of Olivera. Olivera was very glad, but as I said, for security reasons, she could not leave Montenegro because she was physically attacked or she was shot on her this year. So I will call Milka, her colleague, who is also chief of the Journalist Association, Investigative Journalist Association, Montenegro, to take the award. Milka. So Milka, you have it.
Oliver, thank you very much. Thank you for this prize to my colleague Olivera Lakic. Unfortunately, she couldn't come, as Oliver said. And 6 months after this case, unfortunately, we do not still know anything about this case. We do not know who ordered and who committed this crime. And Olivera is not the only journalist in Montenegro which case is not solved. She was attacked for the second time, and 30 investigating journalists have been attacked, and most of these cases were never solved. So we have a long way to go, I guess, and but we will continue to work, and we will do anything what we can to publish a real news and to investigate those who are having power and those who would like to hide the truth.
Thanks a lot. I will ask now all winners if you can stay here to make a group photo for the history, to show to your governments how important work you are doing, because I don't think that the politicians in your countries are happy with this decision. So I think it's good, but I would like also a very important thing is to thank the Central European Initiative, who is supporting this very important award for democracy in Europe and Southeast Europe, and also to the members of the jury who did a great job. And of course, again, to thank the Central European Initiative and the Konrad Adenauer Stiftung as a partner of this event, because without the help and partnership of Konrad Adenauer Stiftung and Central European Initiative, this event will not take place. I would like to thank also the other partners. We have, you have the list of different partners who supported this event, and I think it's a very important support for media, for democracy. And I would like to thank also our local partner, the Albania Media Institute, who did a lot of help for organizing this event. So I would like to thank everyone who was here this evening, everyone who is staying here. And now I think we have enough power also to look for the better future. Going on the second floor, you can walk, you can take the elevator, and there's the reception dinner, so you're welcome to join to the reception. And please be in time tomorrow morning, 9:15, we will start. So please be in time, 9 o'clock, be here. Thank you.